Do not rush past this opening. Because this message is not for everyone who hears it. It is for the one who stayed standing while quietly carrying more than anyone ever noticed. Before anything changes on the outside, something precise is happening within. There is a calm declaration unfolding now, not loud, not dramatic, but unmistakably firm. The burdens you learn to live with are not meant to stay. Not tomorrow. Not after one more sacrifice. Not after one more test of patience. Today marks the turning point. Stay with this. You carried responsibility without recognition. You held families together through silence. You stayed faithful when relief was delayed. That faithfulness was not ignored. It was recorded. Here is what many people misunderstand. The heaviest burdens are not financial. They are not physical. They are the unseen ones, the pressure to remain strong, the habit of minimizing your own pain, the exhaustion of always being the stable one. That weight is being addressed first. Pause here. Let this settle. Because relief does not arrive by adding something new. It arrives by removing what no longer belongs. And removal is happening quietly. A steady assurance follows, clear and intentional. You are not losing control, you are being released from carrying what was never yours alone. That is why you may already feel less urgency to fix everything. Less guilt for resting. Less fear about letting go. These are signs, not weakness. Stay focused. Rewards do not always arrive as celebration. Sometimes they arrive as peace returning to places that were always tense. Sometimes they arrive as clarity instead of confusion. Support instead of isolation. Rest instead of resistance. This is how restoration begins. Another truth unfolds, and it is important you hear it clearly. Faithfulness is rewarded with relief before reward. Because what good is blessing if the soul receiving it is still overwhelmed? That is why burdens are lifting first. Do not look away now. What you endured trained your endurance. What you carried strengthened your discernment. What you survived prepared you to receive without fear. Nothing was wasted. Here is the final understanding of this chapter. What is being taken away today is not your responsibility, but your unnecessary suffering. What remains is strength without strain. Before this chapter ends, backhand index pointing right, comment the word release. Why this word? Because release confirms that you are ready to receive, without carrying what no longer belongs to you. This is only the beginning. Chapter 2, the silent struggles you thought nobody saw are being cleared. Do not skip this part. Because the real shift begins in the hidden corners of your life. The moments you thought were unnoticed, the tears you wiped away quietly, the nights you stayed awake worrying for everyone but yourself. This is where transformation touches what has been private and unseen for far too long. A deep, grounding presence speaks directly to your spirit. Every quiet struggle, every sleepless night, every moment you felt alone, I see it, and I am removing its weight. Not later. Not after one more test. Not after one more attempt to prove your worth. Today is the day. Hold on to this truth. For years, you've pushed. You've sacrificed. You've hidden your exhaustion to protect others. You thought endurance was all you could offer. You thought being strong meant bearing everything without relief. But true strength is being allowed to release. And that release is coming now. Listen closely, because this is a pivotal moment. What you carried in silence is no longer required to remain. You may already feel the shift in subtle ways. Tension in your chest loosens. Mental clutter begins to clear. The pressure to constantly perform starts to fade. These are the signs that burdens are being lifted from the inside out. Pause here. Let it settle. You might expect relief to feel dramatic, loud, or immediate. It won't. Instead, it will feel like quiet peace where panic used to live. Sudden clarity where confusion reigned. Gentle support where fear once pressed. This is how liberation enters. Not with noise, but with presence. Another firm truth is emerging, and it is vital you hear it. The rewards of faithfulness arrive in stages, first relief, then provision, then blessing. You cannot receive everything at once without first letting go of the unnecessary weight you've been carrying. This is why the unseen struggles are being cleared first. They are making space for what belongs to you. Do not look away now. Your family, your loved ones, your household. All the lives you've quietly carried through difficulty will feel the impact of this shift before you even notice it. Your peace becomes their peace. Your stability becomes their foundation. Your release becomes their blessing. Here is the critical realization for this chapter. What is being lifted today is not weakness. It is protection. It is preparation. It is permission to finally receive what you deserve. Nothing was wasted, and nothing is random. Every moment of struggle was part of the blueprint for the life you are entering. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right, comment the word, freedom. Why this word? Because freedom signifies the first tangible sign that your burdens are leaving. And your life is ready to receive the reward that has been prepared for you. To continue this journey, type the number 3 in the comments. Chapter 3 will continue. Chapter 3, the chains you have silently endured are breaking tonight. Do not move ahead too quickly. This chapter is where the invisible restrictions you've lived with, the ones that made you feel trapped even while standing, are finally being released. This is not just relief. This is a reclamation of what was stolen, delayed, or suppressed. A powerful, unwavering voice touches your spirit. Every limit you believed you had is being removed. Every chain, every invisible weight, every self-imposed barrier, I am breaking them now. Not slowly. Not gradually. Not after more struggle. Right now, in this very moment, the invisible begins to dissolve. Hold this truth firmly. You have carried burdens so quietly, you convinced yourself they were permanent. You endured situations you thought could never change. You bore responsibilities silently, often to the point of exhaustion. But here is the awakening. Your endurance was never meant to be permanent. The chains you tolerated are not your identity. They are the old structure that held you back. Listen closely, especially if you have feared that releasing them will be dangerous. Breaking the chains will not harm you, it will restore you. You may notice this through subtle signs. Tension loosening in your body. Sudden clarity in areas that felt confusing. A newfound confidence rising without effort. This is how liberation first appears, quietly, unmistakably, naturally. Pause and let this truth settle. You may have believed freedom comes only after external change. It does not. Freedom begins internally, and everything external aligns afterward. The circumstances you've prayed about, worried over, or felt helpless against, will now start to shift. Another undeniable truth emerges. What was taken from you is returning, not as compensation, but as restoration. Your health, your peace, your relationships, your financial stability, your happiness. All the areas you thought were lost or unreachable, are being restored tonight. And it begins with the silent removal of what was never meant to remain. Stay focused. Do not look away. Even your family will begin to sense the shift. Not through announcements or drama, but through the ease and calm that begins to radiate from you. Your release becomes their security. Your freedom becomes their inheritance. Here is the key realization of this chapter. You are not only being freed from burdens. You are being prepared to receive in abundance what has been delayed. Your faithfulness through storms was never ignored, it was laying the foundation for this very moment. Do not move ahead yet. The full reward is not just what you gain, it is also the transformation that allows it to remain. This chapter is about making space, inside and outside, for the blessing you've been waiting for. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right, comment the word, restored. Why this word? Because restoration confirms that the wait is gone. And now everything that is meant for you can enter without obstruction. To continue this journey, type the number 4 in the comments. Chapter 4 will continue. Chapter 4, every burden removed tonight will open the door to unexpected blessings. Do not scroll past this. Because this is the point where the invisible shift begins to touch every corner of your life. Your health, your relationships, your finances, and your emotional well-being. If you think you are only releasing, think again, you are also about to receive. A deliberate, strong presence whispers directly into your spirit. The weight you've carried silently, the struggles you thought were permanent, the nights you spent worrying, all of it is being lifted. And in the space it leaves, blessings you did not imagine are already entering. Not tomorrow. Not after one more effort. Not after proving yourself again. Today. Tonight. This moment. Stay here. Let this truth settle. You have been faithful, even when it was difficult. You have persevered when no one noticed. You have prayed quietly, hoping for relief. Now the invisible becomes visible. Listen carefully, especially if you have felt overlooked or underappreciated. The reward is not just in the absence of burden, it is in the fullness of what you will now receive. You may begin to feel it as sudden clarity where confusion ruled. Energy returning to areas of life that felt exhausted. Opportunities appearing that were hidden before. These are not coincidences. They are signs that the release is making room for your blessing. Pause and focus. Many people expect miracles to be loud and obvious. They look for dramatic change. This is different. The most powerful shifts begin quietly, subtly, and almost imperceptibly. Another vital truth emerges. Your faithfulness has already prepared the soil. Now the harvest can grow effortlessly. The storms you endured were not punishment, they were preparation. The nights you cried silently were not wasted, they were the groundwork. The pressure you felt was not permanent, it was temporary, and now it is dissolving. Stay with this. Your family, those you care for deeply, will feel the impact first. Not through sudden events, but through the peace that radiates from you. They will sense it in the meals that feel lighter. In the conversations that flow easier. In the quiet calm that now exists in your home. Here is the key realization of this chapter. Relief is only part of the story. The other part is restoration. What is being lifted tonight is not only your burden, it is the prelude to a life of abundance, joy, and clarity. Do not move away yet. This is the moment where your endurance turns into opportunity. Where the trials you survived become the foundation for blessings you will now enjoy. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right, comment the word, abundance. Why this word? Because abundance is the natural result of burden being lifted. And it signals that everything prepared for you is now ready to enter your life. To continue this journey, type the number 5 in the comments. Chapter 5 will continue. Chapter 5, the reward for your silence and endurance is arriving within hours. Do not scroll past this. Because this chapter reveals the unseen momentum that has been quietly building in your life. The very moments you thought were wasted, the quiet nights, the invisible efforts, they are all aligning for a breakthrough you have been waiting for. A commanding, yet gentle presence speaks directly to your soul. All the hidden struggles you endured, the burdens you never shared, the anxiety you carried in silence, I am transforming them into your reward. Tonight, what you prayed for, hoped for, and waited for is manifesting. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not after one more trial. Right now. This moment. Hold this thought. Let it settle. You were faithful even when life seemed unfair. You persevered even when no one acknowledged your sacrifice. You remained patient even when doubt tried to creep in. That faithfulness has been noticed. That endurance has been recorded. That patience has been rewarded. Listen carefully, especially if you have feared that your prayers are unheard. The universe is aligning in your favor, and the timing is perfect. What you have carried in silence will no longer be a burden, it will be your platform for abundance. You may already notice subtle signs. Clarity replacing confusion. Unexpected doors opening. A calm assurance where anxiety once lived. This is not luck. This is deliberate restoration. Pause and absorb this fully. Many expect rewards to arrive loudly and dramatically. Some wait for fireworks. Some wait for validation. But the most powerful shifts happen quietly, deeply, and in ways that last longer than dramatic bursts. Another undeniable truth emerges. Your consistency and faithfulness were never unnoticed, they were seeds. Tonight, those seeds bloom into blessings. The trials you survived were not punishments, they were preparation. The sleepless nights were not wasted, they were the groundwork. The worries you carried were not permanent, they are being lifted. Stay with this revelation. Your family, the ones who rely on you, will feel the impact first. Not through announcements or events, but through the peace, stability, and energy that now fills your home. Conversations will feel easier. Tension will dissolve naturally. Comfort will arrive silently but powerfully. Your relief becomes their blessing. Your restoration becomes their inheritance. Here is the key understanding for this chapter. Burden removal is not the end, it is the prelude to abundance. The very weight that once slowed you is now making room for what has been prepared for your life. Your endurance, patience, and faith are the bridges carrying you into this new season. Do not move away yet. This is the phase where your life stops demanding effort to survive and begins operating in alignment to thrive. Before this chapter ends, backhand index pointing right, comment the word breakthrough. Why this word? Because breakthrough marks the exact moment when burdens end and blessings begin. It signifies that your faith and patience have finally borne fruit. To continue this journey, type the number 6 in the comments. Chapter 6 will continue. Chapter 6, every tear you shed quietly is transforming into joy tonight. Do not scroll past this part. Because what you are about to realize is not just relief, it is transformation. Every tear, every sigh, every moment you endured silently without recognition is now being repurposed into something powerful. A deliberate, commanding presence speaks directly to your heart. I have seen every tear you have cried, every night you stayed awake worrying, every sacrifice you made quietly. Tonight, all of it is being converted into joy, peace, and abundance. Your suffering is ending, and your reward is beginning. Not tomorrow. Not after one more struggle. Not after proving yourself again. Right here. Right now. Pause and let this truth sink in. You have been faithful, even when it seemed hopeless. You persevered even when no one acknowledged your pain. You carried burdens that were never yours to bear. That patience, that endurance, that quiet faith. It is now being recognized and transformed. Listen carefully, especially if you have felt overlooked or undervalued. Every tear you shed has been a deposit into the treasury of your blessing. What seemed like loss is actually preparation for your miracle. You may already feel subtle changes. A lightness where heaviness used to be. Clarity replacing confusion. Hope rising without effort. These are not coincidences. This is restoration in motion. Slow down and feel this fully. Relief does not always announce itself loudly. It comes quietly, almost imperceptibly, and then grows. Your family will feel this shift first. Peace will settle in your home. Conversations will flow easier. The energy around you will shift toward calm and security. Your restoration becomes their stability. Your joy becomes their inheritance. Another undeniable truth emerges. Faithfulness under pressure is never ignored, it is the blueprint for your breakthrough. Your nights of worry, your days of silent perseverance, your commitment to keep going despite exhaustion. All of it has been shaping the pathway for what is arriving now. Stay with this moment. You are not being rewarded for being perfect. You are being rewarded for being steadfast. Your consistency, your faith, your endurance, these are the vehicles of your blessing. Here is the essential realization for this chapter. What is being removed tonight is not just burden, it is everything that blocked your blessing from entering. The tears you shed were never wasted. They were preparation. They were clearing the path. And now, joy, abundance, and peace are entering your life naturally. Do not move away yet. This is the point where suffering stops defining you. And blessing begins shaping your life. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right, comment the word, JOY. Why this word? Because joy is the evidence that your tears, patience, and endurance have been transformed into blessings. And it confirms that your season of struggle is ending. To continue this journey, type the number 7 in the comments. Chapter 7 will continue. Chapter 7, every shadow that followed you is disappearing tonight. Do not scroll past this. Because this is where the unseen chains, the hidden fears, and the quiet anxieties that have lingered over your life are finally being erased. What once haunted your thoughts, what once weighed on your chest, it is leaving. A commanding, unwavering presence speaks directly into your heart. Every shadow that you felt creeping behind you, every worry you carried in silence, every fear that kept you awake, I am dissolving them tonight. You will step into light you never thought you deserved, and your life will begin to breathe freely. Not tomorrow. Not after one more sacrifice. Not after proving your strength yet again. Right now, in this moment, the darkness begins to lift. Stay here. Let this truth sink deep. For years, you carried burdens quietly. You endured challenges privately. You prayed in silence, hoping someone, somewhere would notice. But here is what you must understand. Your endurance has been seen. Your faithfulness has been recorded. Your patience has paved the way. Listen carefully, especially if you feel that no one understands the weight you've carried. The shadows you feared were stronger than they were. Your courage was always greater. Tonight, I am proving it to you by removing what was never yours to hold. You may begin to notice subtle changes. Heaviness in your chest dissolving. Clarity replacing confusion. Calm emerging where panic once lived. These are not coincidences. They are the signs that liberation is in motion. Pause and allow this to settle. Relief rarely comes with fanfare. It arrives quietly, and then everything begins to shift around you. Your family will sense this first. Conversations will flow without tension. Moods will stabilize naturally. Peace will fill spaces that once felt heavy. Your calm becomes their calm. Your security becomes their safety. Another undeniable truth emerges. What has been lifted tonight is not just burden, it is the blueprint for your new life. The struggles you endured, the quiet sacrifices, the nights of doubt, they were all preparation. The path is being cleared for abundance, restoration, and clarity. Do not look away yet. This is the point where fear no longer defines your decisions. And your life begins to operate in alignment with your purpose. Here is the essential realization for this chapter. The shadows you feared will not return. Your endurance has created a shield. Your faithfulness has opened doors. Your perseverance has prepared you to receive what has been promised. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right comment the word, light. Why this word? Because light is the proof that darkness is gone, your burdens are lifted, and a new season of clarity and peace is beginning. To continue this journey, type the number 8 in the comments. Chapter 8 will continue. Chapter 8, every obstacle that held you back is being removed tonight. Do not scroll past this. Because what you are about to read is not just a promise, it is a shift that touches every area of your life. Every obstacle that blocked your progress, delayed your dreams, or tested your faith is now being cleared. Tonight, the unseen barriers that held you down are being lifted, and the path forward is being illuminated. A strong, unwavering presence speaks directly to your spirit. Every block that hindered your growth, every delay you endured, every setback that made you question yourself, I am removing them now. You will see the way forward clearly, and nothing will remain to stop what is meant for you. Not tomorrow. Not after one more attempt. Not after proving yourself again. Right now. In this very moment. Hold this truth close. You have carried responsibilities silently. You have endured delays without complaint. You have waited patiently while others moved ahead. And now, the time of waiting is ending. Every unseen hand that slowed your progress is being released. Every barrier that blocked your blessings is falling away. Listen carefully, especially if you have felt frustrated by constant setbacks. The delays were never denials. The obstacles were never permanent. They were lessons in patience, preparation, and faith. And tonight, they vanish to make space for what belongs to you. You may begin to feel subtle changes immediately. Clarity replacing confusion. Energy returning where it was drained. Hope rising effortlessly. These are signs that restoration is active. Pause and feel this fully. Many people expect breakthroughs to be loud or immediate. This is different. True shifts begin quietly, internally, and then ripple outward. Your family will feel the impact first. The home will carry a lighter energy. Stress will reduce naturally. Peace will begin to settle in areas that once felt tense. Your calm becomes their security. Your clarity becomes their guidance. Another undeniable truth emerges. Every obstacle removed tonight is a confirmation of what you are about to receive. The struggles you endured, the patience you exercised, the faith you maintained. All of it has been preparing a space for abundance, clarity, and peace. Do not look away yet. This is where the old patterns that limited you disappear. Where fears no longer dictate your actions. Where your life begins to operate in alignment with your true purpose. Here is the essential realization for this chapter. The barriers you feared will not return. Your endurance has created a foundation. Your patience has opened doors. Your faithfulness has cleared the way for your blessings. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right comment the word, freedom. Why this word? Because freedom is the proof that obstacles no longer hold you back, your path is clear, and the blessings meant for you can flow without restriction. To continue this journey, type the number 9 in the comments. Chapter 9 will continue. Chapter 9, every burden that held your family down is being lifted tonight. Do not scroll past this. Because this is the chapter where the impact of your faithfulness expands beyond you. It touches every member of your household, every relationship, every corner of your home. The heaviness that seemed permanent is being removed, and your family's life will begin to feel the relief first. A commanding, steady presence speaks directly to your spirit. The weight that has pressed on your household, the anxiety that filled your walls, the hidden worries that you carried alone, I am lifting them. Your family will feel the freedom you have longed for, and peace will settle in their hearts through you. Not tomorrow. Not after another trial. Not after proving your strength once more. Right now. Tonight. Hold on to this truth. You carried responsibilities quietly. You sacrificed endlessly. You worried in silence while keeping everyone else steady. But here is the awakening. Your endurance is no longer required to carry alone. The weight you bore is being lifted. And the freedom your family deserves is entering through you. Listen closely, especially if you have felt the stress of being the backbone of your home. Your faithfulness has prepared the way. Every tear, every sleepless night, every silent prayer is now creating space for blessing, restoration, and peace. You may already feel subtle changes in your home. Conversations flowing easier. Tension fading naturally. Calm filling rooms that once felt heavy. These are not coincidences. They are the signs of liberation. Pause and absorb this fully. Relief does not always arrive with fanfare. It often arrives quietly, yet the impact is enormous. Your family will sense this first. They will feel lighter without understanding why. They will smile more easily. Their hearts will be calmer. Your calm becomes their security. Your restoration becomes their inheritance. Another undeniable truth emerges. The burdens that were not yours to carry will no longer define your household. Every struggle you faced, every challenge you silently endured, every prayer you whispered, was creating a space for a peaceful, abundant family life. Do not look away yet. This is the moment where stress and worry are being replaced by stability and joy. Where your family experiences the blessing of your endurance being transformed into abundance. Here is the key realization for this chapter. The burdens that weighed on your family are being lifted. The obstacles that blocked joy are dissolving. Your patience and faithfulness are the bridge to a renewed home. What was heavy is now light, and what was tense is now peaceful. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right, comment the word, peace. Why this word? Because peace is the evidence that the burdens of your household are being lifted, and the blessing of calm, stability, and harmony is entering your life. To continue this journey, type the number 10 in the comments. Chapter 10 will continue. Chapter 10, every secret struggle you hiddenly endured is turning into your strength tonight. Do not scroll past this part. Because what you are about to read will transform how you see every quiet battle, every hidden worry, every sleepless night you endured for your family and yourself. Tonight, all that felt heavy, silent, and unseen is being converted into power, courage, and unstoppable momentum. A firm, unwavering presence speaks directly to your soul. Every struggle you thought went unnoticed, every worry you carried in silence, every sacrifice that left you exhausted, I am transforming them into your strength. Tonight, what seemed like weakness will become the foundation of your victory. Not tomorrow. Not after another effort. Not after proving yourself yet again. Right now. This moment. Stay here. Let this truth sink in. You were faithful even when no one acknowledged your endurance. You persevered even when it seemed hopeless. You carried burdens quietly to protect your loved ones, to shield your household from chaos. But now, the time of silent suffering is ending. Everything you endured is being transformed into resilience, clarity, and authority over your circumstances. Listen carefully, especially if you felt that your efforts were unnoticed. Every tear, every sleepless night, every worry, and every hidden struggle has been recorded. They are being repurposed to empower your life and the lives of those you love. The very challenges that tried to break you are now shaping your victory. You may notice subtle signs immediately. Courage rising where fear once ruled. Clarity appearing where confusion dominated. Joy emerging in places where stress lived. These are not coincidences. These are the seeds of restoration, growth, and unstoppable momentum. Pause and feel this fully. Many expect transformation to be loud or immediate. But the most powerful shifts begin quietly, internally, and ripple outward until everything changes. Your family will sense this first. Energy in the home feels lighter. Harmony replaces tension. Peace grows naturally in interactions. Your strength becomes their security. Your clarity becomes their guidance. Your empowerment becomes their inheritance. Another undeniable truth emerges. The struggles that once defined your life are now the foundation for your breakthrough. Every challenge, every quiet hardship, every moment of perseverance was preparing the way for blessings you could not yet see. Do not look away yet. This is the moment where past burdens lose their hold. Where your silent endurance transforms into visible victory. Where your family experiences the ripple effect of your empowerment and peace. Here is the essential realization for this chapter. What was heavy and hidden is now light and visible. What was a source of stress is now a source of resilience. Your perseverance is no longer just survival, it is the pathway to abundance, joy, and peace. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right comment the word, strength. Why this word? Because strength is the proof that all hidden struggles are transforming into power, and that your family will benefit from the resilience you have built silently over time. To continue this journey, type the number 11 in the comments. Chapter 11 will continue. Chapter 11, every unseen prayer you whispered is now bringing miracles into your life. Do not scroll past this part. Because this is the chapter where your whispered hopes, silent cries, and private pleas are no longer invisible. Every quiet prayer you spoke for your family, for your health, for your peace, and for your future, is now materializing in ways you could never imagine. A deep, compelling presence speaks directly into your spirit. Every plea you whispered in the stillness, every quiet hope that seemed unanswered, every prayer you feared was ignored, I am answering them now. Tonight, miracles begin to unfold in your life and in the lives of those you love. Not tomorrow. Not after more struggle. Not after proving yourself yet again. Right now. This exact moment. Hold this truth tightly. You prayed silently, even when you felt alone. You sought help in the shadows, without telling anyone. You hoped, even when circumstances seemed impossible. All of it, your devotion, your faith, your perseverance, is activating a transformation that cannot be reversed. Listen carefully, especially if you felt your prayers were ignored. Every word you spoke in faith, every tear you shed quietly, every intention you held in your heart, it is now converging to bring restoration, protection, and abundance to your home and family. You may notice subtle signs immediately. Sudden clarity about decisions that troubled you. Opportunities appearing unexpectedly. Peace filling places that once felt heavy and chaotic. These are not coincidences. These are miracles quietly activating in your life. Pause and let this realization settle. Many expect miracles to be loud and obvious. But the most profound miracles arrive quietly, internally, and then ripple outward to touch everything around you. Your family will sense this first. Harmony will naturally return to conversations. Tension will vanish without explanation. Calm and confidence will flow through your home. Your answered prayers become their blessing. Your restoration becomes their inheritance. Another undeniable truth emerges. The faith and patience you have maintained are unlocking the doors to miracles you could not yet see. Every hardship you endured, every moment of doubt you overcame, every night of worry you survived, was preparation for the arrival of blessings that will now flow freely. Do not look away yet. This is the point where your life stops waiting and starts receiving. Where prayers you thought were unanswered begin delivering results. Where your family experiences the impact of answered prayers before even knowing why. Here is the essential realization for this chapter. Every silent prayer is powerful. Every hidden plea has been heard. Your perseverance has activated miracles that are now taking shape. Your faithfulness is the bridge between struggle and fulfillment. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right comment the word, miracles. Why this word? Because miracles are the proof that every silent prayer is now active, and that the blessings you have longed for are entering your life and your family's life without obstruction. To continue this journey, type the number 12 in the comments. Chapter 12 will continue. Chapter 12, every fear that held your heart captive is being destroyed tonight. Do not scroll past this. Because this chapter is where fear loses its grip, and courage, clarity, and peace begin to take permanent residence in your heart. The worries that stole your sleep, the anxieties that clouded your mind, the silent fears you carried alone. They are being removed, dismantled, and replaced with unstoppable strength. A powerful, unwavering presence speaks directly to your spirit. Every fear that has whispered in your ear, every doubt that tried to paralyze your steps, every worry that kept you awake, I am removing them tonight. You will walk in confidence, and your life will shift as fear has no power over you anymore. Not tomorrow. Not after more struggles. Not after proving your bravery again. Right now. In this very moment. Stay here and feel this deeply. You have faced storms silently. You have persevered when doubt tried to take over. You have carried burdens alone to shield your family and protect your peace. But now, the darkness that once seemed so strong is being erased. Every fear that haunted your nights, every anxiety that crowded your thoughts, every tension that filled your heart, is being replaced with courage, confidence, and clarity. Listen carefully, especially if fear has felt like a constant companion. The fears you allowed yourself to feel were never permanent. They were lessons, signals, and preparations. Tonight, the chains of fear are broken, and your heart is being freed. You may already feel subtle shifts. Hesitation turning into confidence. Anxiety dissolving into calm. Clarity replacing confusion. These are not coincidences. This is freedom in motion. Pause and absorb this fully. Many expect liberation to arrive dramatically, with visible fanfare. But the most powerful freedom begins quietly, internally, and then spreads outward. Your family will feel the impact first. Harmony will return to the home. Relationships will soften naturally. Your peace will radiate, creating a ripple effect. Your freedom becomes their security. Your confidence becomes their guidance. Your calm becomes their inheritance. Another undeniable truth emerges. The fears that once dictated your choices no longer have power. You are now free to live, love, and lead with courage. Every worry, every sleepless night, every anxious thought was preparing the way for liberation, clarity, and abundant life. Do not look away yet. This is the moment where your family witnesses the power of courage over fear. Where your home feels lighter. Where your heart beats with unstoppable strength. Here is the essential realization for this chapter. Fear is no longer a master over your life. Your perseverance has created a shield. Your faith has opened doors. Your endurance has prepared the path for lasting freedom. Before this chapter ends. Backhand index pointing right, comment the word, courage. Why this word? Because courage is the proof that fear has lost its grip, and that your life, and your family's life, is now entering a season of confidence, peace, and unstoppable movement. To continue this journey, type the number 13 in the comments. Chapter 13 will continue. Chapter 13, every block that kept your family from abundance is being removed tonight. Do not scroll past this. Because this chapter is not just about blessings arriving, it's about every barrier that blocked prosperity, health, and peace in your home being dismantled. Every obstacle that delayed happiness, every unseen chain that limited opportunities, every tension that disrupted harmony, it is being lifted tonight, fully, completely. A commanding, wise presence speaks directly into your heart. All that has held your family back, every invisible chain, every delay, every circumstance that seemed permanent, I am removing them. The abundance, peace, and joy that you prayed for are flowing now, and nothing can stop them. Not tomorrow. Not after more effort. Not after proving yourself again. Right now. In this exact moment. Hold this thought firmly. You have worked silently to maintain stability in your home. You have sacrificed for your loved ones. You have endured patiently while waiting for breakthrough. But here is the truth. Your endurance has opened the door. Every block, every delay, every limitation is being removed. Your family will now feel the benefits of your perseverance. Listen carefully, especially if you feared that prosperity or peace would never reach your household. What was delayed is now arriving. What was blocked is now flowing. What was denied is now available. Your family's home will experience blessings that have been prepared silently, just for you. You may notice subtle changes immediately. Energy in the house feels lighter. Family members feel calmer and happier. Opportunities begin to appear naturally. These are not coincidences. They are signs of abundance activating in your home tonight. Pause and let this truth settle deeply. Many expect change to arrive through dramatic events or loud announcements. But true abundance begins quietly, internally, and then ripples outward into every corner of life. Your family will feel it first. Harmony in conversations. Joy in shared moments. Peace in every interaction. Your restored energy becomes their inheritance. Your blessings become their safety. Your breakthrough becomes their foundation. Another undeniable truth emerges. The blocks that prevented abundance were never permanent. Your patience, perseverance, and faithfulness have prepared the way for their complete removal. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of endurance was creating space for the blessings that are now arriving. Do not move away yet. This is the moment where your family's home stops operating under limitation and begins to function in alignment with blessing, abundance, and peace. Here is the essential realization for this chapter. The obstacles that kept your family from thriving are gone. Your faithfulness has paved the way. Your patience has created space. Your perseverance has unlocked abundance. Before this chapter ends, backhand index pointing right, comment the word, abundance. Why this word? Because abundance is the proof that all blocks have been removed, and your family is entering a season of prosperity, peace, and joy that will ripple through every area of your lives. To continue this journey, type the number 14 in the comments. Chapter 14 will continue. Amen.